Well, the snow and the sleet are done falling, but that doesn't mean the problems are over because the bitter cold remains, and we picked up enough accumulation overnight last night that it's still on the ground because we can't handle that here. We don't have the resources to remove the snow and the ice. And here's the problem. And we're looking out here from Isle of Palms over toward Goat Island. Beautiful looking day. This is some of that snow and sleet on the ground. See that right there in the parking lot? That big old puddle? Well, that big old puddle is about to freeze and turn into an ice skating rink because temperatures tonight are going to fall back into the teens, even into the 20s right here on Isle of Palms. So if you do have some of those spots around your house, on the roads, on the sidewalks, they're going to refreeze tonight, and that's going to cause some huge problems come tomorrow morning. Probably not going to be a good day to go out again tomorrow. That's why we're seeing a lot of cancellations. 34 degrees outside right now, just barely above freezing with some bright sunshine. If there's snow and sleet on the ground, it's going to stick around for at least one more day. Probably not going to go away until Friday into Saturday. Yes, this is going to stick around for a little while because the temperatures are bitter cold. Look where we're headed tomorrow morning. 16 degrees will beat the record low of 19 by 3 degrees set back in 1985. So we're going to crush that record by 3 degrees. That's a pretty significant number. Here's what we have with our impact forecast. And we've got moderate to high impacts with everything. The cold, a moderate to high impact. The same with the ice because that's causing problems on the roadways and at the airport. So travel is really non-existent right now. Buses have been canceled, so it's just not good to be out there. Stay home, stay safe, stay warm. And there are closures, restaurants, schools, you name it. Just about everything is closed because it is dangerous to be on the roads, and it's going to get even more dangerous once the sun sets. As far as your temperatures, protect people and pets. If you know somebody's in a cold spot, make sure to get them to a warm spot. Protect your pipes. Outside, you insulate the pipes. Inside, you drip those faucets. I heard that over 100 people in the Charleston water system had pipes freeze last night. It's going to be even colder tonight, so it's important to drip those faucets. Bring in and cover the plants. If you haven't done that yet, you're in big trouble. And heat your houses safely. Space heaters, make sure that you keep furniture away from those. Here's what happens. During the day, the snow melts and we get black ice. It's not really black ice. What happens here is it's transparent on the black roadway, and that's why it's called black ice. There's a very thin layer of ice there, and you can hardly even see it. It's hard to see sometimes, and really once you hit it, you slide, you can't stop, you can't turn, and that's why it causes such big problems. And honestly, this could be even worse than last night because you can't see it, and it's going to be in all the spots where there's wet roadways. 49 degrees on Saturday, so we do warm back up above freezing. On Sunday, we're at 52. We'll get some sunshine, and here's where we see the snow finally starting to melt. Temperatures across the country right now aren't quite as cold. Up here in Minneapolis, they're up to 28, 23 in Chicago, 34 in Kansas City. So the bitter cold air that's been just piling in from the north and west has finally shut off, but we have to deal with it for the next couple of days because it's in place, but it will start to slowly fade as we head into the weekend. Across the state right now, we've got those temperatures anywhere from back below freezing, 31 in Rock Hill, to across the river in Augusta, 36. We have 34 degrees in Charleston. Any precipitation moving far away off to the north and east. Clouds are out over the Atlantic Ocean. Our skies are nice and clear, but we're going to see some clouds build in, especially after midnight tonight. Things are pretty quiet, but there are some clouds that will move in from the south and west. As we take a look at Futurecast, here we go. Overnight tonight, some clouds move back in, and that's why we're going to hit our low temperature very soon. After sunset tonight, probably by about midnight, 1 o'clock. And then as those clouds move in, we'll hold temperatures a little bit steadier. Mostly cloudy for your Thursday, and then as we go from Thursday into Friday, we should see more in the way of sunshine on Friday. That'll help to melt some of the snow. And then as we go into the weekend, we see even more sunshine as we head toward our Saturday, and the snow will continue to melt. Problems will get a little bit less each and every day. Here's what we have for you overnight tonight. 16. One of the coldest temperatures we've seen in a long time. Increasing clouds, and if we hit that 16, that is a record low. Then tomorrow, plenty of clouds, 37. We'll keep those skies mostly cloudy and temperatures well below average. Your average high is 60, so we're closer to half of that than we are to the actual temperature. Here's what we have. 37 tomorrow. Your storm tracker day is in effect. 46 on Friday, 47 on Saturday. Then on Sunday, we should crack the 50s. And next week, I think the 60s will come back into the forecast by Tuesday and Wednesday.